The Matrix 4 is embarrassing. When I say embarrassing, I'm talking about a movie that shill media, they have no idea how to spin it. Here's Vox, for example, saying, you know what, this isn't a Matrix movie, this is about trauma. Here's another saying, nah, you need to scratch all this. This is a massive spiritual experience. And others actually trying to say that this movie, it wasn't about being good. Oh no, it was about taking the red pill back because you know what? We need to reclaim its legacy. Now, what's even funnier than watching them try to describe this film is them trying to make this a success. And they are. They'll talk about it with anything, including most pirated film of the week. Why are they doing that, by the way? Because this thing, it is bombing hard. You and I, we are going to talk about that today. Oh, man. Crazy times, huh? Crazy times indeed. Oh, man. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And to truly drive home just how poorly this movie is doing. Remember, this is a hugely touted Matrix movie. We haven't had one in around 18 years. And yeah, this movie, it opens at around $69 million. Now, it's been funny watching the media try to put this into perspective, comparing that to older movies, saying, well, you know, Matrix 1, it opened at more than that. I mean, that just opened at $27 million. Omitting, of course, that when you look at the top 10 movies of 1999, well, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, that thing, it ends up breaking $1 billion. But The Sixth Sense, it comes in at $672 million. Toy Story 2, $511 million. And The Matrix, it seizes number 4 at $465 million. I mean, this was a different world, and look how well it was performing. Now, the original Matrix, it was also budgeted in at around $63 to $65 million versus $190 million for the newest movie. Fast forward 4 short years to The Matrix Reloaded 2003. The buzz around this movie, it was huge, too. And yeah, The Matrix 4, it gets even more embarrassing. I mean, if you look at the opening weekend right here, look at those numbers. $91,774,413. This is back in 2003, by the way. I mean, that dominates Matrix 4. And you're talking about, and again, a lower production budget. This movie, it has $150 million budget it needs to make back. And when you look at those numbers ranked for the year, I mean, look at some of these juggernaut movies that came out. Number 1, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, coming in at $1.12 billion. Number 2, you have Finding Nemo at $936 million. And then The Matrix Reloaded comes in number 3. So it's moved up spots, actually moved up to number 3 at $738,576,929. I mean, that is a lot of money. Now, when you move into the third iteration of Matrix, the Matrix Revolutions, you'll notice something about this, 2003. See, this movie, it was filmed back-to-back with Matrix Reloaded, and it was released a few months later. That seems crazy, doesn't it? A lot of people, they were saying that that's a terrible gimmick. In my opinion, it was a huge blunder, caused this movie to significantly underperform. And you'll notice its opening week here. Again, 2003 money. This comes up at $48,475,154. Now, even with that significantly underperforming for a Matrix movie, in my opinion, if you look at that, again, we're looking at the same year for 2003. You have a Matrix movie at number 3. Then you have Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Bruce Almighty, The Last Samurai, Terminator 3, and then coming in at number 8 above X-Men 2 and Bad Boys 2 is The Matrix Revolution. I mean, still, you have a movie, again, for Matrix that significantly underperforms, and it still lands in the top 10 of 2003. Now, to be fair about those numbers, too, Matrix 4 also streamed, and you can see the streaming numbers right here. You have it watched by 2.8 million smart TV user households over the Wednesday to Sunday period. Again, we have no idea how many new customers that is yet. We have no idea how many people are actually just using something and clocking out, not actually paying, but this is part of the new norm, so you do have to include that there. Here's the thing though, best case scenario, every one of those households is a new paying customer, which is impossible by the way, but just say they are, that would clock in another $42 million. That's not happening by the way. You're probably talking another $8 million at most, but yeah, that's why you have excuses like this, saying, well, if you look at the highest pirated movies out there, you have a 32.6% share of top 10 torrents, outpacing your Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, at a 16.6%. That is a terrible movie, by the way. Do not watch that movie. It is awful. And rusty copies of Spider-Man No Way Home shot pirates in theater at 12%. Now, what's fascinating about this movie is that outside of shill media, you actually have audiences and critics agreeing on how bad this thing is. Critic-wise, you have a 65% Rotten Tomatoes score coming in, and that's with 232 reviews. That's quite a few critics speaking up, and the audience, it almost mirrors that score at 63%. Now, what fascinates me aren't just the negative critic reviews. Ones like this. I agree with this, by the way. The cinematography resembles a warm, cozy commercial for Betty Crocker cake mix, and the action is downright messy, a clumsy clutter of over-edited and halved punches, but also what passes for positive, because even the positives are telling you it had big, bold ideas that it didn't follow through, but hey, bravo on the try, right? Quote, a difficult film to unpack that'll prove incredibly divisive among the fan base, aka this isn't a good movie, not if you actually like Matrix movies. The Matrix Resurrection had big, bold ideas that it doesn't always succeed at executing, but it absolutely deserves credit for attempting so. I've never really thought that you should give an A for effort for movies, but hey, again, what do I know, right? Even shill media has no idea how to push this thing, and they have tried, and they have tried hard. Again, telling you, this thing, it's about trauma. Oh, no, this is about spirituality. Nope, what it really is it's about trying to take back the red pill and unred pilling America. None of those things land either, because at the end of the day, this movie, it doesn't have an identity crisis. It just doesn't have an identity at all. We're talking about a boring movie, a movie with no stakes, a movie that most people, they don't want to tune into, and I don't blame them. I thought it was a terrible movie. I don't think you should back Warner Brothers either. I'm just putting that out there. But beyond that, it's not worth picking up, even if you love the franchise and you want to see it. But hey, let me know in the comments what you think about this stuff. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work, so thank you. Can't say that enough.